monthly checks for everyone, otherwise known as universal basic income. I have all the details and what you need to know right here in the video, so let's get right into it. I know in this video, I do want to address some questions that I've seen down below in the comment section from some of you right here in the community, and I do want to talk about ongoing monthly checks, otherwise known as universal basic income or UBI. Now, if you've been watching the videos here on the channel for any length of time now, you've heard me talk about all kinds of different payments that are out there, including one-time stimulus checks. We've talked about guaranteed basic income, otherwise known as GBI. These are payments that go out to specified groups of people on an ongoing monthly basis for a specified period of time. And now in this video, I do want to talk about UBI, Universal Basic Income, which is a no strings attached payment, otherwise known as monthly check, going out to literally everybody, literally every single person. Now here's the thing. This is a very popular concept. In fact, we've been seeing a lot about this over the last few years. In fact, as of about 4 years ago, virtually nobody had heard about universal basic income. Now, here's the thing. This concept has been around a very long time, a very, very long time, but virtually not that many people heard about it up until just a few years ago when we heard presidential candidate Andrew Yang talking about it, and that really kicked it off. Do you remember that? He was talking about a $1,000 universal basic income program on a monthly basis. So that is kind of where the whole thing kicked off, and it's gained a lot of momentum and a lot of popularity since then. So I want to talk about it because here's the thing. There's a major difference between UBI and GBI, Universal Basic Income and Guaranteed Basic Income. Even though these two programs sound virtually the same, they're very similar. They virtually are the same, except for a couple major differences. And again, I will break that down for you here in this video. But really quickly, let's talk about UBI, Universal Basic Income. Why it's a great concept, it is, but is this something that we can actually count on at some point here in the United States? And if not, what could we count on here in the United States or around the globe? We're going to see things like this in a pretty big way here at some point, and again, I'll break the reasons for that down here in just a minute. All right, so here's what universal basic income is, okay? It's literally this: an ongoing monthly check, no strings attached, for everybody. That's it, okay? It's pretty basic stuff, okay? So that is it. That's why it's called universal. It's all encompassing, literally everybody, okay? It could be the person who is earning $10,000 a year, they get a check. It could be somebody earning $50,000 a year, they get a check. It could be somebody earning $5 million a year, they get a check, okay? Can you see the flaws with this program? Yeah, exactly. It's fun to talk about. It's interesting to think about and be like, wow, this would be great. It would help out so many people. Yes, but at the end of the day, it wouldn't really solve any problems because giving everybody of all income thresholds a check for just, for spending money or whatever, it's just not going to help the cause, right? So that is why this is an interesting concept, but at the end of the day, it's not really an effective one, depending on what they actually want to achieve. However, the flip side of the coin would be another very similar program called Guaranteed Basic Income, GBI, and this one is actually a program that's going on all across the country. In fact, there's over 100 Guaranteed Basic Income programs that are going on all across the country right now, okay? So this is a popular one. Here's the differences here. Like I said, Universal Basic Income, checks going out to literally everybody all across the country with no strings attached. Guaranteed basic income is a ongoing monthly check for lower income individuals. Now, how they identify low income is different with some of these programs, and the people that are specified to receive these types of payments are a little bit different each program, but generally they're focused on low income, okay? That is the major difference. Rather than everybody getting a check, guaranteed basic income is focused on lower income individuals, okay? Now that would be a much more effective approach because, let's be real, does the guy earning $5 million a year need a $1,000 check every month? No, doesn't care. I mean, that person couldn't care less, right? I mean, let's just be real. Doesn't really care about $1,000. You know what I mean? Somebody earning that much money wouldn't probably, well, first off, they wouldn't need it. That's number one. And secondly, probably don't really care about it, right? However, somebody earning, say, $10,000, $50,000, maybe $70,000 a year, could they use an extra $1,000 a month? Yeah, by all means, it'd be very helpful, okay? So, by the way, I just want to make this very clear. I have not alluded to this at all, but I just want to make this very clear so we're all on the same page. No, a program like this is not implemented necessarily across the entire country right now. However, like I said, there are about 100 guaranteed basic income programs going on across the country right now. But again, they're talking about implementing this on a nationwide level at some point. I've talked about that before in dedicated videos, but I'm basically coming back here and breaking down the differences between universal basic income, guaranteed basic income, and what is specifically universal basic income and why it's a cool concept. It's fun to talk about, but at the end of the day, it's not that realistic, okay? Here's why it's not very realistic. Well, basically for the reasons that I laid out there just a second ago. Somebody earning a big income doesn't need an ongoing monthly check. That's why, okay? Giving money to every single person out there walking the streets, not necessarily an effective approach. Focusing that money on lower income individuals, now that is where the effectiveness comes in, right? That is where things actually get effective, because focusing money on people that actually need it is a lot more different than just giving everybody a check, like a big, umbrella, a big blanket statement, kind of things like that. That's not very effective, okay? Getting money into the pockets and into the hands of the people that actually need it is a very big difference from just everybody getting a check for, whatever reason, okay? All right, now here's another reason that I want to point out here, why these programs are gaining so much popularity and why we're starting to see these popping up, and why, like I've said for a while now, I would not be shocked at all. In fact, I expected, 100% expected, a guaranteed basic income program on a nationwide level here in the United States. It's called automation or AI, artificial intelligence, or robots, whatever you want to call it. It's all basically the same thing, okay? But what it comes down to, there's a lot of AI, there's a lot of advancements in automation, there's a lot of different things that are going on right now. In fact, you probably heard me talk about it in other videos. I've made some videos where I've talked about, look out, this whole AI thing is taking over. Now, obviously, we've heard some people come out and say, oh, it's just a trend, it's just a fad, it's going to go away. I don't know about that. It might be a trend, it might be a fad for now, but this will be the implementation going forward, in a pretty big way going forward into the future, okay? The way that we're currently doing things now is fine. But here's the thing. If they could get a robot to work 24/7, 365, and, not like try to get days off or, sick days, not asking for vacation, not asking for a raise every year, not complaining, you know what I mean? They're going to start implementing robots, okay? And a lot of companies already are. Like, for example, you hear about some of these huge corporations that have these warehouses. What's working in the warehouses? Well, yes, some people, but they're running around with robots. Robots are driving around, fulfilling orders, filling packages and stuff like this. How about the fast food joints out there? Have you heard about this? You've heard me talk about it before. Some of these fast food joints across the country, there's not too many of them so far, but there are a handful of these that are popping up out there. Completely automated, 100% run by robots. Okay, well, what happens? All of a sudden, the companies that are looking at this and they have these fast food joints like this, they're thinking, wait, on a normal day, we employ, I don't know, how many people work in a fast food restaurant? Honestly, I don't really know. Maybe like 5, 7, 8, something like that at a given time. I'm honestly not really sure. Something like that. Let's just say it's 8 people at a given time. But they say, hey, we don't need 8 people. We can have a couple robots running the show here, and we don't need a single person, maybe one person, to oversee the entire operation of the robots. Well, does that become a little bit more appealing? Now, guess what? Now they don't need to pay, taxes, employment taxes and healthcare costs and all kinds of things like this on a robot, because it's just a machine, right? If it breaks down, you fix it. You don't need to send it to the doctor and pay its healthcare coverages and stuff like that, right? So there's a lot of different reasons behind this. So even though this whole AI thing right now may be a little bit of a trend, this is ultimately the future of not only the United States, but it is ultimately the future of the globe as well, okay? So how does all of this wrap into monthly checks? Again, what does, robots running a fast food joint or running around in a warehouse have anything to do with ongoing monthly checks? Well, we've heard it before from very influential people, which is, in the event of automation and robots and AI and things like this taking over in this country, a lot of people are going to be out of a job. Now, here's the thing. I found this in a study, I don't know, a while ago, which was some people are coming out suggesting 80% of the jobs here in the United States could be replaced by AI or robots, okay? 80% of people. It's a lot. It's a huge percentage of the workforce out there. As of right now, there's about, I don't know, I think it's about 180 million people that are working right now. Okay, well, if that's the case, 80% of that would be, what is that, 140 million, I think, right around there, 146 million or so. It's a lot, okay? That's a huge, huge percentage of the workforce. So anyway, when it comes down to it, again, I hope this kind of breaks down the differences of universal basic income, guaranteed basic income, and all the things like this. Ultimately, at the end of the day, just remember this much. Universal basic income, UBI, great concept. It's a fun talking point, things like that. But for the most part, not realistic, okay? Sending out an ongoing monthly check to every single person that walks, or I shouldn't just say walk, sorry. Basically, everybody walking, around out there, everybody that's living, breathing, blinking, drinking water, breathing air, stuff like that, not an effective approach. However, guaranteed basic income, sending out ongoing monthly checks, highly focused on lower income individuals or people that fall into a certain, grouping, however they group people, you know what I mean? It's basically what they do is they identify, okay, people in this certain area need this kind of money, or people earning this amount of money, this income threshold need this amount of money. These people earning fixed income benefits from this fixed income benefit program need this amount of money, things like this. That's what they actually do with these guaranteed basic income programs. And we continue to see time and time again from all of these studies that these programs are very, very effective. Anyway, kind of interesting stuff that's going on out there, right? I mean, seriously, how many years ago were we not even saying a word about ongoing monthly checks? For the most part, it was not even a thing up until like 4 years ago, 3 years ago. You know what I mean? Like, to be fair, it's probably about 4 years ago when this wasn't even really a thing until all of a sudden it kind of came mainstream, and now it's a really big topic. It's something that's being talked about a lot out there. Anyway, hope this helps to better understand the situation. To answer some of the questions I've seen down below in the comment section, if you have any further questions, please feel free to leave those down below in the comment section. I'll do my best to come back and make another dedicated video or answer those questions for you. Otherwise, make sure to subscribe down below, share the video with your friends, family, social media, and go back and check out any of the other thousands of videos here on the channel. Until next time, enjoy your day, take care, and I'll catch you again later.